Volunteer, you deliver a hot, nutritious meal and a friendly hello to someone just like your mother, grandfather, or next door neighbor. These seniors are inspiring people with incredible stories to share, and they love to see you. The smiles you get back are priceless. Delivering with Meals on Wheels is easy, and you don't have to drive like me for it to be quick. You can volunteer your lunch break once a week or just once a month. With 1 in 6 seniors facing hunger and many more living in isolation, your lunch break can make a real difference. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Okay, Simon, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. And what do people normally wear?
Clothes.
Exactly. So now Mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Clothes keep us warm, they look good, and if we go out without them, the neighbors will talk. So it's important to know how to get dressed. Here's how it's done. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. If you're wearing a tie, it goes over, round, through, and pull tight. Tuck your shirt into your pants and zip up your fly. Socks going first, then shoes right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops. The rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears.
I love bunnies.
Good to know. Now remember, spots don't go with stripes, socks don't go with sandals, and if you've tucked in your shirt, wear a belt. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But spending just 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier and could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. That's 2min2x.org. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
So you see, son, good manners are very, very important. Someday, many years from now, when you're a grown-up, you'll be a man. And when you are, you should be a gentleman. Do you want me to go through it one more time?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If a door's shut, then knock first. Don't burp, don't swear, don't speak with your mouth full, don't reach across people's plates, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
And don't interrupt. While we're at it, don't stare, don't use foul language, don't call people names, but do remember people's names. Always share your toys, play nice, and cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give up your seat to anyone who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But spending just 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier and could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. That's 2min2x.org. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
Hey, there he is. How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand or what?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
Are you okay?
I'm having a stroke.
Your face looks weird too.
I'm having a stroke.
Are you having a seizure or something?
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear.
I'm having a stroke.
You just need to know the sudden signs. Look for FAST, F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. Or S, speech difficulty. Then T, time.
Different goals, needs, and appetites for risk. That's why the Do current market conditions have you nervous? Our experienced team of financial professionals at Heritage Harbor Financial Associates understands that no two investors are alike. We all have different goals, needs, and appetites for risk. That's why the one-size-fits-all approach does not work, especially when planning for retirement. At Heritage Harbor Financial Associates, we analyze your unique investment style so that you can work toward your individual retirement goals on your terms. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates can help you take steps to reach your retirement goals by providing a wide array of financial products to fit your needs, even for the risk adverse. Give us a call at 631-331-6599 to learn more or to set up an appointment with one of our financial professionals. You can also find us on the web at hhfa.org or on Facebook at facebook.com/hhfa.org. Our number again is 631-331-6599. That's 631-331-6599. Investments in stock, bonds, and mutual funds and variable annuities are not FDIC insured and are subject to fluctuation in value and market risk, including loss of principal. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates offers securities through AXA Advisors LLC, New York, New York. Member FINRA, SIPC. Annuity and insurance products offered through AXA Network LLC.
Edward Lehman has been a trusted insurance advisor for over 6
Saturday, August 28th, add it to your calendar. The Sports Betting Channel presents To Be Determined. Our new show starts at 8 o'clock out here in San Diego, 11 o'clock in New York, and then we're done just in time for the first game kickoffs for college football. You're going to get 4 totally different slices of sports. Blackhawk West joins us for Saturdays in Canada and some plays for the CFL game. What do you do when the easy sports data is trending in opposite directions? Well, Mo's going to help us decide what to do on Something's Gotta Give. There's also Paulo's plays. Now, if you're not betting soccer, you really should be. And this guy is very, very good. Finally, there's Wake and Bake, where sports betting meets marijuana. Hey, the games start early here in Southern California. Now, 9 o'clock's a lot easier when marijuana is legal. It's like having 4 shows in one. Check it out Saturday, August 28th on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, on the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network, and on the Sports Betting Channel.
Edward Lehman has been a trusted insurance advisor for over 16 years with insurance solutions for auto, home, commercial, life, and retirement. He's located at 54 Sunnyside Boulevard, Suite H in Plainview. That's just 1,000 feet south of 495. Local agent, local advice. The time to think about insurance is before you need it. So do yourself a favor, and before you pay your next insurance bill, give Ed and his team a call, 516-935-3900, or visit them online at www.allstate.com/EL. Edward H. Lehman Insurance is your trusted insurance advisor.
Be fearless at MMA Long Island and Seituha Karate. Located at 28 Cold Court in Ronkonkoma, MMA Long Island is the martial arts school for you if you want to learn combat-proven techniques, build confidence, discipline, and self-esteem while learning real martial arts to fight back against bullies, predators, and peer pressure. MMA Long Island offers group and private lessons for all ages and levels in traditional Goju-Ryu Karate, MMA, and self-defense. MMA Long Island is one of Long Island's most affordable martial arts schools. There are no promotion, belt, or membership fees, and family discounts are available. All classes are taught by 7th degree black belt Sensei John Benedict with over 30 years teaching experience. So whether you want to get in the ring or protect yourself and your family, MMA Long Island can help you reach your goals. Visit MMALongIsland.com. That's MMALongIsland.com, or call or text 516-381-9660. That's 516-381-9660.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Dear John,
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but you've left me no choice. I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is really serious, and lately you seem to really not care. I've been there for you since day one, and I know you think I'm gonna keep ticking, but no, my friend, I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to the good times, when we were more active and ate more healthy foods, and you checked on me every once in a while? Is that too much to ask? I don't want to leave, but unless you stop ignoring me, what else am I supposed to do? Remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Doing the minimum to control your high blood pressure isn't doing enough. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Jason Derulo. I love that music connects to people all over the country. But unfortunately, so does something else. Childhood hunger. 15 million kids struggle with hunger right here in America. And yet, every year, billions of pounds of surplus food in the U.S. go to waste instead of going to the children in need. Feeding America is working to change this. The Feeding America nationwide network of food banks rescues this surplus of food to help provide meals to families in virtually every community in the United States, including yours. But they just can't do this alone. Join me in the fight against hunger in America. For more information on what you can do to get involved, visit feedingamerica.org. That's feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America. A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone. Let's all stop what we're doing right now and take a moment. That felt good, huh? Just like that, we had a nice special sort of moment together. Of course, they don't all need to be quiet moments to be special. They could be loud moments, goofy moments, sporty moments, dorky moments. Moments where we talk or walk or just hang out. It doesn't really matter. They all count. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. Sounds like somebody agrees. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Today, call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
What are you talking about?
No, it's not him. There is only one more. There is only one more. That's it. One more. Get rest! No!
They saw your team put up zero effort.
Wake up!
Remember in the old days, they used to have oxygen for him. Where's the oxygen?
Play like absolute just garbage.
This is the Sports Loudmouth.
Yay!
Man, can you keep it down? I'm trying to introduce here. With Errol Marks, Speedy Petey, and Tyler Harrison.
You're not even a has-been. You're a never was. You're a never was. You're a never was.
Hello, everybody. How the hell are you doing? Along with the Sports Loudmouths on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, it's me, Tyler Harrison, along with the co-host / producer / goateed man over there, Speedy Petey. How are you doing, Speedy?
I was curious. Were you trying to make some kind of slash Guns N' Roses joke with that one?
No, I don't really know where I was going, so it just kind of happened. But yeah, no, it's definitely it's a banner day here at Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Mark Kelly, award-winning ESPN employee, or former ESPN employee, however that's supposed to be done. At some point, is calling the show. Yay! It's been Jesus Christ. When's the last time I spoke to Mark Kelly? 2 years. So that's gonna be exciting. I'm sure Errol Marks has his pulse on this show from wherever he is, however he's doing it. He's driving with his head out the window, probably trying to get better reception. Oh man, but yeah, there's definitely a lot to get to. Right now, the Yankees and White Sox playing the Field of Dreams game, the best concept in any sport right now, to be honest. It's a damn shame that Major League Baseball has gone 10 steps backwards since the announcement of this game. But either way,
no correlation. They've just gone 10 steps backwards in a lot of other ways.
every other way.
Yeah.
Every other way possible. This has just gone completely sideways. But yeah, that's my phone, so ignore me. All right, Speedy, why don't you tell everybody what we have on the agenda as
Yes.
today's show gets
So we're going to get into some of the latest in the NBA off season. Kawhi Leonard, he will not be a Knick, unfortunately. This, at least not in the near future. He will be staying with the LA Clippers. We'll get into that. Damian Lillard apparently wants to be traded again after it seemed like that was dying down. He now wants out again, and we'll get into some more NBA stuff. We'll continue with the NFL stuff with the latest in training camp preseason underway. We'll get into that a lot with Mark. With the Michael Thomas thing. We'll continue some of our questions from yesterday in the Speedy's questionnaire, and we also will return Speedy's Playhouse, where Tyler will try to build the best team he can with my themes and much, much more, whatever I will end up getting into with these guests, with these callers, we'll say. What do you got?
Yeah, no, that's definitely that.
I thought you had some kind of breaking news the way we were looking at that.
Oh no. But yeah, no. So I guess the breaking news today is what, that Lillard's out again?
Yeah, he wants out again. It looked like that Lillard wanted out initially after the Chauncey Billups hire. Then it looked like he was fine again. The Blazers were trying to get aggressive with certain trades. It looked like they were trying to get Draymond Green. They were trying to get some other big men.
They weren't going to get Draymond Green.
That was a rumor I saw. I'm not the one.
Yeah,
I'm not the one making up the rumors like Josh used to. I know Carl was a big fan of that one. But yeah, these are just ones I saw with Damian Lillard. But now apparently he wants to be traded again, and from the Blazers. CJ McCollum is also another guy that was rumored out. I saw definitely some with the Kings, with the Pelicans regarding CJ McCollum. So could he be another guy on the move? I mean, he's been on the trade block, I would say, the last 5 years or so.
Who?
McCollum. It seems like he's always in rumors. The Blazers got to get bigger, so they got to trade McCollum type of thing. But now it's actually, all right, if Lillard wants out, McCollum could be next too. So they could lose that entirety of that backcourt, which was obviously going to spell full rebuild as it is, but it definitely will not look good for McCollum either, even going to one of those other teams. The Kings could be pretty good. The Pelicans, they're all right, but they always seem to crumble when it matters most too. So that is not really ideal. And then Kawhi Leonard as well, like we were saying, going to the Clippers, signing back with the Clippers to go with the great Tyronn Lue as head coach.
No, Tyronn Lue's not a great coach at all.
I know, that was sarcasm.
I know. He's how Doc Rivers got fired for him, I don't understand.
Nobody knows.
I mean, they went backwards, so it's okay. I gotta be honest with you though. Damian Lillard's agent should be fired today because Damian Lillard said, I'll see how it goes. After the reports came out, he wanted out. So that kind of scared the Knicks away. That kind of scared a lot of the big teams away. The only team left right now, I guess everyone that wasn't on Damian Lillard could possibly still be on the market for Damian Lillard because it's not like Kemba Walker or, Golden State really hasn't made any big move yet, but
Golden State was in the running though. Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
What moves? And
Steph would probably
also. Klay Thompson be a 3 though?
Yeah. I honestly, at this point in his career, I think that Klay moving to 3 would help him.
Really? No, I think
he'd be one of the fastest 3s in the league.
Yeah, but he'd also be one of the smaller ones that. Yes, he's a nice perimeter defender, but could he be an inside guy too? Is another question. And his all-around game, I don't know if that really translates to being a 3. in the league as much. I think, especially off the injury, you don't know how he's going to be. I always thought Klay Thompson was much more of a catch and shoot guy rather than a guy that could create his own
offensive
shots.
game. His offensive game with Lillard there is going to improve. It would be Wiggins. I mean, any deal not including James Wiseman just sounds so unfair.
Yeah, if you're going to get Damian Lillard, James Wiseman has to be their centerpiece.
Then I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
No, I would. That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised you brought up the Warriors.
Well, no, because Golden State was one of the teams interested. Golden State, the Knicks were the favorites, but Golden State.
The Knicks were the favorites. I
had
heard
a list of 6 teams.
Miami was one. The Sixers.
Well, Miami's out.
The
now.
Sixers were one. Yeah, Miami's out now. I'm saying that at the time they were definitely exploring options with that. Now they signed Kyle Lowry, but now they might not get that either because there's potential tampering involved in that too. So they might have that deal taken away. So if they do have that deal taken away, then they might be back in on the market for Lillard.
I'll be honest with you. If I'm the Miami Heat right now, I'm crying for tampering. Yeah, we tampered. Take the deal away.
Yeah, but what happens if you again plead for that and then all of a sudden
Lillard
you don't
gets
get
traded?
Damian Lillard and then you get nothing. So then you're just left with what you had.
Well, it would be equivalent to when the Hornets made a trade for Chris Paul to the Lakers, and then 2 weeks later he was a Clipper. Something like that.
Yes, but
meanwhile, Kobe Bryant's sitting there like, you gotta be kidding me. This guy's going to play in the same building as me on the wrong side.
Not that they won anything there, but
and Kobe won 2 rings. So really, what the hell happened there? Nothing. And then Steve Nash came, and
oh yeah,
then Kobe's career ended.
That was one of the big threes that did not pan out by any means.
Big threes. That was more than a big 3. That was a big 4. Kobe, Powell, Nash, and Dwight. Yeah,
that's right. I forgot Powell was still there.
Yeah, that's a big 4 right there. If that team even sort of panned out, they win a championship. But Dwight was a baby. Nash didn't. I don't think Nash played a game that season. Yeah, I don't think there was a single game that season the 4 of them played together.
Yeah, Kobe's injury was 2 years later.
No, Kobe played. That's the year Kobe played 45 minutes a night, and everyone's like, "You gotta be kidding me, right?" And then the last game of the year against Golden State, he tore his Achilles.
Oh, okay. It was that year.
It was like a week left in the season. He tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Brian Shaw. Great job. Not that it's his fault. Kobe wouldn't have listened to him anyway, but still, I mean, someone's got to take the blame for it, right?
Yep.
And you don't blame Kobe. Kobe's going to play. You can't blame. Kobe's going to play. So Kobe's going to be Kobe. You got to have somebody real Kobe in.
There's not instances where you're going to blame the athlete for their own injury. They're not going to anticipate the injury coming when somebody like Kobe has been relatively durable his whole career. It's not like somebody that was. He's been
durable his whole
right.
career.
So he's not somebody that's going to say, all right, I'm going to have my doubts of playing this. I'm not going to play. So somebody naturally injury prone. Okay, that's different. Not with Kobe, he seemed like he didn't miss a game. And like you said, played 45 minutes a game and what age 33 or whatever he was at the time, 34.
Yeah, no, he was playing a lot of minutes, but it was widely considered to be a mistake
for him to play that much. Or
yeah, because everyone was like, "Why is Kobe playing this much? You need to rest him."
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, he's aging, makes sense for that thought process at that time. I'm just saying, in terms of the fact that he wasn't that injury prone as it was, I can see why he would push that over somebody that did have a history of injuries comparatively. And obviously just ended up unfortunate. And it was sudden too. It wasn't just something that, all right, he had reoccurring things before that. It was something that just came in so suddenly.
So yeah, no, that's definitely how that's going. But anyway, yeah, I just don't know. But yeah, that's definitely how that goes. Now, here's the other interesting thing. So Damian Lillard wants out. I mean, it's really down to the Sixers and Knicks at this point to me. So, do the Knicks want to give up Kemba and a young piece, or is Ben Simmons enough? If you're the Trailblazers, well, no, but as a centerpiece, because the centerpiece is going to be the young piece from the Knicks, and then 2 or 3 other inferior pieces, and then on top of that, just everything else. So I don't really know.
Well, yeah, Ben Simmons definitely could be a piece again, and it works financially in terms of swapping the big contracts. Obviously, Lillard's contract is a much better contract than Ben Simmons is, but in terms of financially, they're both pretty large, where they could try to make up the money to get that to work because they have to match the contracts. And the Sixers, they don't have as much draft picks when it comes to that as the Knicks do, where they could give those extra picks away. And obviously in the NBA, you have to do it by year type thing. So you have to do the 2022, then the 2024 first round picks, stuff like that. But again, the Sixers, do they have enough other young pieces that they might want to give away in that kind of deal? You guys like a guy like Matisse Thybulle, who played well last year. Obviously, Tobias Harris is still, again, a core piece, but again, he's still young enough where he might have to end up going in that kind of deal too, especially if they don't have to give away the extra draft picks. That's where the Knicks, I think, because of the Blazers, especially if they lose McCollum, they're going to be rebuilding. Then the Knicks are definitely more when it comes to the young pieces. The Sixers have the core pieces with Embiid, with Simmons, guys like that are known. But in terms of like young depth, the Knicks have that advantage too. Now, if there's a third team that gets involved too, which is interesting, then maybe somebody else takes on that money with somebody like a Tobias Harris if they want to shuffle that around. And the Knicks and the Sixers could end up saving money that way, where they could pay Damian Lillard even more too, especially if they do end up getting the Simmons contract off the books. Because again, that Simmons contract, besides this kind of deal, is going to be very tough to move as it is, because he's a good passer for sure, and inside player, but not much else in his career, and defense too, I guess. But at that price, it's going to be very hard for him to be a cornerstone, especially what you saw in the playoffs, where the Hawks kept fouling him and really exposing him for the terrible free throw shooter that he was. And it really demoralized him and demoralized that Sixers team, who really didn't overcome much after that against a Hawks team that, give them credit the way they played, but still weren't supposed to go anywhere this postseason.
No, but they're a young, good team. And honestly, I really just can't quite get over the fact that Damian Lillard changed his mind again. Like, who in Portland is communicating with Damian Lillard? Who? He's the best player your franchise has ever had. So the fact now that we're talking about this guy now saying twice in about when the Olympics start. Twice in 3 months?
Yeah, 2-3 weeks ago.
That he wants out. That's not good. And you brought in Chauncey Billups specifically to appease Damian Lillard. And he hated it. Now, I'm not saying there's a problem in Portland, but you haven't been relevant really in about 20 years. The last franchise guy you even had was Brandon Roy, and then obviously, he had bad luck.
Right.
But Greg Oden didn't work out for you. And for a long time, you were just taking on veterans to kind of, I don't even know, tank. It really is what they were doing for a long time. So I don't know. Damian Lillard panned out, but you had to make him happy, and now he's gone. He's gone. You have to trade Damian Lillard now.
Ben says, came on late, so I'm not sure if this is mentioned. Current talk is Lillard to 76ers, and the Blazers would send Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, the 2022 first-round pick, and the 2024 first-round pick. Yeah, that would probably be likely.
Keep Ben Simmons?
No. They would send Simmons,
okay.
Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle. Yeah, that would probably be reasonable. I was trying to think. I forgot about Tyrese Maxey. He actually played very well as that sixth-man type role for the Sixers last year. So yeah, that's another option they definitely could have. Carl says, remember when Scottie Pippen was on the Jail Blazers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I was actually going to bring him up specifically because that's where he went. But it's just so hard to let a franchise player like him go. And Philly right now has got to be salivating because they got to be like, oh, thank God we got another shot to get rid of Ben Simmons.
Mm-hmm. And again, that probably they're one of.
I'm going to be honest,
few
though. I don't think
shots,
it's
yeah.
enough.
The offer Ben sent, or
Yeah, I don't.
Would you add another first round pick, another young player? You'll get a third team involved. Because the third team
I would
idea,
want a third team.
the third
I would
team
want a
idea
third
is
team
definitely
because Portland
intriguing.
Portland to me, they're just not there. They're not there. And what I mean by that is you lost Melo, who was your third best scorer. You brought in Norman Powell, who really looked lost when he got traded from Toronto. McCollum, as good as he is, he really, to me, has regressed in a Robin role since. I mean, he's also been hurt on and off. But I don't think Portland alone. If you trade Damian Lillard, you are putting up the white flag and you're starting from scratch. And you don't have anything. And this really goes back to them trading Gary Trent because Damian Lillard was completely blindsided by that. So they were like, why would you trade Gary Trent? He's young, he can shoot, he can score. Lillard and him got along very well. And you had four guys, because Melo was still there, that could go out there and shoot the lights out. So now you've lost Melo. You traded Trent. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. You appease a top 10 player in the league. You do.
Carl asks, who wore the headband better, Rasheed Wallace or Cliff Robinson?
I'm going to go with Rasheed Wallace.
Mm-hmm. Ben also says...
Ben Wallace also was probably the best answer, but you didn't give me that option.
Ben also says, also current talk, Warriors receive Bradley Beal and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Wizards receive Wiggins, Wiseman, Kuminga, and Moody. So the 2 draft picks from this year plus Wiseman and Wiggins.
I would make a counteroffer to that. Keep KCP, please. And I would send Wiggins and the 2 draft picks from this year in a first. I'm not. James Wiseman is, and I believe this is Beal's walk year, right?
He has a player option after this year.
Okay, he's opting out. He's gonna get the max, so he's opting out. I think that's more than fair for a guy that's gonna hit the free agent market, and Golden State can't sign him. I shouldn't say that. It's going to be incredibly hard for Golden State to re-sign him.
Yeah, not to mention, I don't think Golden State really needs KCP anyway. They have enough shooters as it
No,
is.
not only that, KCP, you want to talk about depth, Golden State does not need him, not even for that. They don't need him at all, period.
Right.
So I would be more than happy to not get KCP. Now, here's the thing. Washington probably doesn't want KCP either.
Yeah, okay. But again, if you're going to do a salary dump, we see that in other sports too. Sometimes that diminishes the contract if you're trying to end up doing that. And I just don't think the Warriors necessarily need that. That maybe, again, another...
They can't do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they probably couldn't either.
Wiggins' contract would probably make just enough room for Beal. And then adding KCP's contract, the Wiseman and the rookies aren't making up KCP's contract at all. So unless he signed a vet minimum to stay on the Lakers last year. But I don't think that's true. I thought he signed a pretty good deal with them. I thought it was like 2 years, $30-something million.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see KCP being able to go. I'll tell you this though, if Damian Lillard does get traded to Philly and Bradley Beal's gone, I can't see Bradley Beal starting the year on the Wizards. I mean, all signs point to him opting out and leaving. If he gets hurt at any point during the season, Washington's screwed. If he underperforms next year for any reason at all, Washington's screwed. If he holds out, Washington's screwed. The Wizards cannot afford to go into the season with him on their team. And I think that's part of the reason they traded Russ. Okay, we got Kuzma, who's a young piece. All right. Maybe that's get Bradley Beal to stay. Maybe. But I can't see, for the life of me, everyone being like, "Oh, that's a great idea." Blah 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 blah. No, Bradley Beal looked at that trade and said, "I just lost a top 10 player in the league to play with Kyle Kuzma, KCP, and what was the other piece?
Montrezl Harrell.
Montrezl Harrell's underrated, but
I agree.
But that ain't making him stay in Washington. To be coached by who?
No, I don't even remember. It was one of their assistants.
Scott Brooks?
No, he's gone.
Oh, he is fired. That's right.
They hired from within.
Yeah. So Bradley Beal will not play. I can't see Bradley Beal playing a game as a Wizard this year. There's too much for the Wizards to lose, which goes back to my old saying: if you're late to this party, you're severely late to this party. You lose everything if you don't trade right. And Bradley Beal, even last year, before the Russ trade, you got the vibe that Bradley Beal was gone. And then it was like, oh, well, we got you, Russ. And Bill was like, okay. All right. We'll see how that works.
Well, Russ was obviously he's the way better player now, but Russ was their main incentive to go after John Wall. There wasn't going to be much better offers for them other than getting Russell Westbrook and try to see if that would work there, too. So,
well, right, but hold on about that. Who said Bradley Beal wanted John Wall traded?
Yeah,
there were rumors they didn't get along.
I think not that. I think John Wall wanted out. I don't know if it was because of Beal. I think they were going to move him regardless, even if it just was a rebuilding type move. So you're right. I never heard anything where they didn't get along because they even so the last couple of years with Wall's injuries, they were barely on the court, and Beal actually played like a point guard in a lot of those instances too when Wall was hurt. And
I think Beal played his best basketball when Wall was hurt.
Yeah, and he grew his all-around game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think he's even underrated defensively, Beal. Now, he's not locked down like Klay Thompson or Draymond or Simmons, but he's like that Luka Doncic above average. You know, he's better than people say he is defender. Because in Florida, I don't think he played defense at all.
No.
So he's improved dramatically. But with that being said, if those two trades happen, Philly to me becomes the second best team in the East.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think Miami right now is the best team in the East, and I really don't even think Lillard going to Philly really changes that. If they could get like at some point during the year, maybe a disgruntled guy's like, I want out, or something like that, then that's one thing. But as current teams can stand, it would be Miami, Philly, Milwaukee. Then if Beal goes to the Warriors, just give them a chip. Just give it to them.
Oh, they have to stay healthy.
If those 7 guys stay healthy, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Well, it depends on how much
Beal,
they have to
Clay.
trade, though, too. Because if they lose a lot of that
I don't think it's going to take that much.
If they lose a lot of that core, though, like these rumors are going with, where the young players and the front court players, especially too, they're going to be I would say more of a smaller team that, again, they still have all the shooting to do that, but then they're going to be better than the Nets, but like a better version of the Nets where they're going to lack depth, though, too. And that's something that could be concerning in the Western Conference. Because remember, when the Warriors won their championships, they had solid depth as well. It was Livingston off the bench. They had obviously Harrison Barnes, and he started a little bit too, but they had the big men off the bench that played well. So I don't know if they necessarily have that right now, especially if they do have to trade away all those pieces. I know Jordan Poole played well for them at times, and the kid from Villanova, I'm drawing a blank on his name, Omari Spellman, he played well for them at times too, but they're not really like these trustworthy. All right, they're going to be this lethal, trustworthy bench guys that you could say. So that's the only thing that would concern me if they do make that kind of trade for Lillard. Yes, it would be probably the best 3-guard system we've ever seen, but I feel like they would just be the Nets strapped in the Western Conference, and they're better than the Nets are, but they're just still, that could be hard in a very tough Western Conference. That's also bigger too. Keep that in mind. It's more of the mixtures that win the game now. You need to shoot, obviously, but it's more the mixtures that win the game rather than the Warriors in the mid part of last decade of the way they won. Ben also says, rumor that the Pelicans got Lillard, Blazers get Ingram, Kira Lewis, Jackson Hayes, 3 first-round picks, 2023 and 2024. Ben, keep in mind also Jackson Hayes just got arrested for something, I think a speeding charge or something like that, DUI or something like that.
For who?
For Jackson Hayes. He's a big man.
No, I know that, but who's
Pelicans get Damian Lillard for
no
Brandon Ingram.
No. Nope. Damian Lillard will not step full or Nope. He wouldn't step full on the floor.
Yeah, I agree. Carl also says, yes, Jordan Poole will be a great player in the future. Yeah, I could see him being a great player in the future.
He's clutch.
Yeah, I'm just saying as a primary type like bench player, because he's not going to be able to start with those 3 guys there. Could he take that next step is another question. I also just think the Warriors would be too small in that case. Ben also says Field of Dreams game, New York Yankees versus Chicago White Sox. White Sox up 7-4. Carl responds Stankies, and Ben says agreed. Well, yeah, you're hosting the show as a Yankees fan that probably believes the same thing, Carl.
They're awful. They're absolutely awful, and I'm trying to enjoy the game, but Michael Kopech, man. Another guy the Yankees screwed the pooch on, but that's fine.
Well, with his injuries, maybe not. I mean, he's had one Tommy John surgery and a UCL tear or something like that.
Yeah, but look, he's still.
I loved him as a prospect too. I remember that.
He's still throwing 100, and the Nationals really don't miss him, so it's okay. What I'm saying to you is, for years on this network have been clamoring, where's the pitching? You saw Scherzer get traded. You saw
to a team that didn't need him.
Well, they didn't need Trey Turner either, but that's fine. You saw, oh my God,
Barrios.
Jose Barrios get traded to the freaking Blue Jays. To the Blue Jays.
They're climbing.
Jays.
The Blue Jays are climbing. They're only 2.5 back.
Yeah, you know why? Pitching. Kyle Gibson. I know that name probably doesn't ring a bell to a lot of you. Kyle Gibson's having a phenomenal year. Got traded.
Yeah.
Go back to last year.
Now he goes to the Phillies. Good luck with that.
Pitched well. He's pitching well in Philly. Now, here's the issue. Craig Kimbrell traded. Bullpen for the Yankees still sucks.
That was a weird move. I didn't get that for the White Sox. He's not really good in other roles. So I thought that was kind of strange. And Madrigal's a good player, too, that they traded away. There's just obviously no room right now.
No. All I know is, Mark Kelly is here.
Mark has arrived.
All I know is Andrew Heaney was the answer I got. Andrew Heaney. Can't pitch in L.A., so we took him in New York. Not only did we take him in New York, he's in the second team in L.A. You put him on the prime team in New York. And it's not a fifth guy or a fourth guy or even a third guy. You brought him in to back up Garrett Cole. And his ERA is 5. And he's pitched like garbage. And both starts as a Yankee.
Before we get Mark on, I'll just read the rest of the comments. Ben says, Simmons to Sacktown in a 3-team trade with 76ers and Raptors.
You giving up Buddy Yield?
You're going to have to, yeah.
You giving up Buddy Yield? If I'm Sacramento, I'm not trading Buddy Yield for Ben Simmons. Fox and Yield are a good defensive combination. I'm not, no.
Yeah.
Nope. Sorry.
Carl asks, last great Yankees pitcher, CeCe, he asks.
What? No, the last great Yankee pitcher, you'd have to go back to Ron Guidry because every other guy was brought by another team. The Yankees' homegrown pitching, Pettit.
Okay. All right, we'll bring in Mark now.
Look who's here.
Hey, Tyler, what's up, my friend?
How the hell are you, buddy?
Oh, it's great to see you, man. I'm so happy you're back, man. You did good. I'm glad. You deserve it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there. How about you?
I'm all right. Same old, same old.
What jersey you get on there?
Odell Pro Bowl. As a Giant. Last good Giant thing to happen. So.
Yeah, you got that.
Well, at least now they start fights in training camp.
Good.
Yes.
Joe Judge is an amazing coach. I love Joe Judge. Joe Judge is great. Joe Judge is fantastic. Saquon's great. Everyone else, I don't know.
So where's Errol?
Errol was in North Carolina. He's on his way back now. He's driving back literally as we speak. Who knows? Maybe he could come on in some facet for all we know. I know he's done that in the past in the car, but we'll see. I don't know where he is at the moment and what condition he is in. But yeah, he was in North Carolina since Friday or so. He actually joined the show on the video feed for a little while yesterday to rebuttal Brian Snow, because actually Brian Snow has to call in and name 20 basketball players better than LeBron.
Now, I checked in with Brian a couple weeks ago, but I'm really not on Facebook that much, and I haven't had a chance to get an update on him. Is he doing better?
Yeah, he's definitely doing much better. He has a little bit of the same energy that he used to have, obviously before the treatment. But yeah, definitely still an ongoing process with him. But yesterday, it seemed like when he called, he definitely was doing a lot better from what we heard. Good. So good progress for sure. Yeah, with him, but yeah, him and Errol, he didn't stay on. He only did on for about 3 minutes, but him and Errol went at it a little bit yesterday between the old basketball players, Russell Westbrook, Brian doesn't think is a top 10 point guard in the NBA. Who is it?
All time.
It was all time. Okay. Kyrie Irving was the other one that he didn't think was a top 5 point guard. There was a whole lot of different things that he came on for the hot takes, and the what was it? Oh, the NFL. Oh, well, you two agree on Lamar Jackson, but that was really it.
So what do you guys think about the NL East? Who do you think is going to win the NL East?
As much as it pains me to admit, the Braves.
Yeah, right?
Oh, my God. I can't imagine this, what the Mets are going through right now, that they could even get back into it. They can't hit for anything right now. They did today, but...
Yeah, beat the Nationals. Yeah, but everybody's beating the Nationals right now.
Well, that's not
Philly.
That's not hard to do.
You like Philly, Tyler? You like Philly, Tyler?
I think Philly's got it.
See, Philly's just there. If they think Ian Kennedy's going to be their closer, they got another thing coming. I mean, he is not closing material. He doesn't miss that many bats.
No,
the bullpen's a disaster anyway. It's basically whose bullpen is going to fail the least.
Yeah, it seems like at this point their bullpen is, I guess, immanageable. Is that something that you could say? Because you remember, Tyler, 2 years ago, I called Gabe Kapler the worst manager in baseball, and now he's the best manager in baseball this year by far with the Giants. So explain that.
Yeah,
wow. Joe Girardi comes over there, obviously, who's a very good manager, and he still, I mean, they're doing better now, but he still hasn't done amazing things for that pitching staff. I don't know. That bullpen might be, I guess, unmanageable with the way they can't find a closer and they can't find depth at all in that spot. Now, if they do make the postseason, obviously they could put some of their starters in now. You mentioned Gibson, who's pitched in the bullpen in the past, so he might have a little bit more experience than the average starter. And they still got Wheeler's been great, and I know you like Nola too. So,
and remember how bad Washington's bullpen was when they won the World Series. They were one of the worst ever that regular season.
Right, but Dan Hudson became like a lights-out reliever for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Once you get into the postseason, it's totally different when you can manage your pitching staff a little different. I think that the moves the Braves made at the deadline, because look, you figure if they lose Acuna, who's the best player, he's the best player on the team. I don't know. I think Freeman's the most valuable, but Acuna was the best player, and they lose him. They go out and get Rosario, who had 19 homers, 100 RBIs a couple years ago. Soler had the same thing. They get back
Duvall.
Yeah, who absolutely killed them. Duvall, he killed about 17 RBIs against them alone this year with the Marlins. So just getting him helps them not to, because he didn't do all the damage. I know Max Fried, he owned Max Fried. But they're getting good pitching from Smiley and Morton. Those guys have been I think between the two of them, they only lost one star since the middle of June.
Now Fried's turned it around too. He was bad when he came back from the injury. Now he's back to that form he was last year when he was a Cy Young finalist.
Yep. I think that overall they made the moves, because you remember when the Mets in 2015 when they went out and they got Kelly Johnson and
Juan Uribe.
Yeah, I mean, but that added to their overall depth, because then their lineup became a little bit longer. And I think that's what Atlanta did. Atlanta just put out numbers. So if you have Soler, Duvall or Rosario, and then they got Rodriguez to kind of shore up the bullpen. It's not by any means perfect, but when their starters go deeper into games, that definitely helps them, because early on in the year, that's why Atlanta was losing. Plus that dumb rule where you start with a guy on second base still. They lost like 2-8 or something in extra inning games.
Yeah. They also lost the most games at that point in the season, I think, when they were leading in the 7th inning or something like that, which doesn't help.
And they're bad in 1-1 games, obviously, because they're the only team with a positive run differential.
Actually, I don't know if you saw this, Mark. One of our shows that was with our network that just recently left us, they were all Atlanta sports fans. They were actually they showed this stat that the Braves had the biggest streak of alternating wins and losses in Major League history, or something like that.
Wow,
which is not surprising considering how streaky they've been this year, but still.
Yeah. Well, they get to within like one game of 500, then they would go 3 games under, then 2 games over, then so but still losing Acuna and being a factor in the National League East is a credit to them. They usually make pretty good moves. That's what real organizations do.
Just to get some of the comments, Ben responds to his trade about the Kings. Toronto would get Marvin Bagley and Korkmaz, who's one of the Sixers bench shooters, I guess, along with Hield in that deal. Carl says, driving. Did he lose a bet? Tom Chambers, trash talk, referring to Brian Snow. Carl says, Tyler, you have a man crush on Girardi. And then he also says,
no, he's just a real manager I've seen in New York, that's all.
And then Carl also says, come on, Braves getting Jock Peterson was the best move of the deadline.
That was good too. Good too.
Jock Peterson's a good bench player, Carl. I don't know why you're dissing Jock Peterson.
He starts on every other team in baseball, so that really doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where the dig is with Jock Peterson on this, Carl. Stug also says, I'm surprised.
Jock can play.
I'm surprised people aren't just pissing in the corn. That would be kind of disrespectful, Snug. They put on this event, which is a tribute to a baseball movie like this. Great
movie.
Yeah, a great baseball movie. They get the corn.
Top 5 sports movie all time.
Yeah, they get the corn like renovated to the field sizes of today. They make it work. If somebody pisses in the corn, that would just be it's just really bad.
And how do you just have that sit there? Like, that's not something you can do in a week and a half. Like, that's got to be maintained all year long.
Well, yeah, it was supposed to. Remember, it was also supposed to be planned for last year too, before the COVID. Yeah, Mark, are you about to say something?
Yeah, it is. I mean, they built that field out there a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they didn't build like they did the stands and all that stuff they put in, but that's been out there for a little while.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They had to renovate it, the stands and not the field like you were saying, Mark, but everything else. They had to make it for the modern, I guess, baseball experience, I guess, more or less.
Mm. One of the people in the local radio show around here, they were complaining because they had a wall in the outfield, that they wanted it to be just no wall like it was in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Where they just kind of disappear into the outfield.
Right. Yeah, that was definitely something that they could definitely do for effect. So, Snug asks, Speedy is the great unwashed. It's the great unwashed. Would it really surprise you, especially being from New York, where the sidewalks are open sewers? Again, Snug, it still wouldn't look good in terms of the event, though. Is my point. To piss in the corn like that.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
So Mark, we were talking a lot yesterday with the NFL stuff with Michael Thomas as well. What were your thoughts with that that whole saga and the Saints' whole offseason saga swirling around?
Yeah, well, I mean, Saints are going to have some struggles because they're not going to have Breeze. So they're going to see how important he was to that organization. One of the better quarterbacks of our generation. And I mean, remember what the Saints were before Breeze got there. They were very inconsistent. They hardly made the playoffs. I mean, Bobby Hebert was their best quarterback, probably.
They traded their whole draft for Ricky Williams. Yes.
Yep. So it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment. I mean, I don't. They're in a really tough division too, so I don't see where the wins are coming from. We were talking about the down here the SEC West, where you have Texas A&M, LSU, and Ole Miss. Those are three, and then Mississippi State is going to be okay. Like, where is Auburn finish? Like, even if Auburn goes like 4-4, that's pretty good for them in that division. That's going to be even Arkansas is pretty good this year. So it's going to be a real tight division.
Who's the receiver they keep hyping up that's supposed to be really good in this draft for Arkansas?
Who's that?
A lot of draft experts are hyping up one of the Arkansas receivers as being one of the top draft picks.
Well, you see how good Elijah Moore's been for the Jets. As far as wide receivers in the SEC that were not, Devonta Smith or Ruggs or Judy or any Alabama guys. I mean, Moore's probably had the best camp of any of the wide receivers.
Yeah. Snug says, well, yes, I hope the camera guys don't zoom in on the corn pissers. I agree with you on that. Michael Thomas should probably rehab his image at the University of Alabama this year, then come back to the league and be prepared to catch passes longer than 10 yards. Yeah, Snug. There's new NIL rules in place. I don't know if that's how it works to get eligibility back. And also, again, while he did play at Ohio State, which isn't a great system for like producing NFL type quarterbacks and overall NFL type receivers, he still did very well with considering that. So I don't know if he necessarily needs more college stuff. I think he just needs to stay healthy, or again, hope this injury was just a one-time thing, because he wasn't normally injury prone before that for the first 4 years of his career. So I don't know about going back to college on that one, but yeah, okay. That would be quite a twist on the eligibility rules, though.
What do you guys think about the name and image likeness? How that's going to work?
I actually am amazed at a lot of the success it's had so far with a lot of the newer brands that are coming out with it. BYU, actually, I don't know if you saw this one, Mark. They had that whole bar. The bar paid for all the walk-ons and the scholarship money that they got to do that with one of the bars at BYU, which was cool. Some of the other brands that have come out have been very good, though. And I like the way a lot of these athletes are really supporting the local brands, too, between different shops, different restaurants, stuff like that. And it's good. They're not trying to just jump. The thing that worried me a couple of years ago, before I knew it, before it really got bigger with the whole branding stuff, was they were going to go too big at once, and then they would mess themselves up. But they're really doing a nice job so far with it so far. And I give them a lot of credit, these athletes. And again, the way these brands have been working, because a lot of these guys had independent brands that they didn't get to grow because the NCAA was just so terribly restrictive for whatever reason. So it's good that they're actually getting to do it, and they're doing it in a way that that's not like too big all at once. It'll get bigger for them later. I know Bryce Young got $1 million or whatever with that, but
that can be dangerous, because if you your offensive linemen are going to be pretty pissed off if you don't take care of them. Where you're the $1 million athlete and they're not, and they have to get up for an 8 a.m. English lit class. So I think that's the one thing I would worry about. We were talking to the coach over here at Jacksonville State. Mm-hmm. And he's it's like a subdivision school, and he was talking about how it's going to affect him, and the transfer portal really is where if the players want to leave now. There were like 28,000 players in the transfer portal across all the sports. So it's just that rule alone has really changed a lot of things too, because if, say, you're at NC State and you decide, well, I had an okay career at NC State, I'm going to go ride the bench over at Ohio State or somewhere else just to have a chance at a national championship. I think that some of the players are actually going to do that, since it's a lot easier to transfer now. So, that's something I think that might get a little out of hand. It'll almost become like re-recruiting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's definitely been a wild card with a lot of these different guys, especially if they do want to brand something that's local or brand something within that school too, which is very interesting. And what they end up targeting with their own personal I don't want to call it agenda because it seems like a bad word, but their own,
But it is kind of.
Yeah, their own, the way they want to push it type thing. Yeah. So
did you see about what do you think like Quinn Ewers over who's going to Ohio State? He should be playing his senior year of high school.
that was interesting. But again, with these new rules, these eligibility rules, I guess there's always some loophole to that. Do you know the specific details on like how he ended up getting that? Because I know you're right. He was supposed to be eligible for next year, not this year.
Well, what happens is he graduated early, so he was eligible to be a freshman this year. But he still has obviously a high school eligibility left, but you can't take advantage of your name and image likeness in high school in Texas. Right. A lot of states have that where it's against the law.
Right.
So they figure, well, there were a couple of companies down there that wanted to represent him and pay him, and Texas wouldn't allow it. So his family said, well, what would we rather do? Play a senior year where he might get hurt and then he'll lose kind of all of the endorsement deals, or we'll just go to Ohio State now. There might be a chance where you could even play this year.
That's what I was hearing too. Yeah, they could.
But he's eligible, so he's going to be on the, at least in the practice and everything. And if he's good enough, I don't think he's good enough yet. But I think you're going to see a lot more of that, where these guys are going to almost like the prep basketball thing, where these guys are going to forfeit maybe a year or two of high school because they don't want to get hurt. And they want to take advantage of their ability to make money. You'll have a lot of guys trying to graduate early and enroll early so they can take advantage of that.
Yeah, definitely a very interesting saga with that. Because I know too, especially going back to the NIL, I know I was worried about certain factors of it with like how big it could get with these athletes making money. They would try to be like pro athletes right away and try to run the league the way they did it. Because I don't know if you remember, Tyler, I was very against the college players getting that for a while until really 2019 or so. Then I came around on it because the NCAA was getting harsher and they were limiting way too many things. And then I thought it was just stupid at that point. Like, let them brand, let them at least be able to grow whatever they want to grow. And now you're seeing these kinds of things. And especially now with the pandemic, the Pac-12 players, you saw them stand up against the NCAA when they weren't getting the proper treatment. That's why they had to delay their football season. The Big Ten too, in a lot of ways, did the same thing. So the players are getting a little more of that too, which is definitely a good sign. But I don't think anyone's necessarily done anything like violation wise that really says, all right, they should get rid of this rule. No, they've all done it for good things so far, which is good.
And even so, the NCAA is so corrupt. They deserve what they get right now. They created all this.
Yeah, I never realized how bad it was. I thought it was just they were just restricting certain things. Then, like I said, around 2018, 2019, kind of around the end of that year, the beginning of 19, I realized it was really more. The word I will use is nitpicky. Like they just certain little things they just went after these guys for, and I didn't realize how bad it was, how extreme it could get to certain players. They were taking away titles. They were obviously postseason bans, stuff like that for the teams as well, which I didn't realize how bad it was. So I was never one to advocate for these athletes getting money, getting a lot of money for a while until I realized all that. Now I'm definitely in favor of it. And so far, it's definitely been good. It's been a good sign for a lot of these teams, a lot of these athletes getting on these teams too. And also too, with these leagues now, especially with the NBA, they can go right into the G League right away. MLB, obviously, you can go play in their farm system too. It'll definitely be an advocate. It'll definitely be something that can advocate for people to stay in college too, depending on obviously where you're going, obviously.
I think just the NCAA, they did so many things wrong for so many years, and they made so much money off of everything. I mean, like take like Reggie Bush, for instance. Okay, so Reggie Bush asked if he could have his Heisman Trophy reinstated, like given back, because they took it away from him. And he's kind of wishing maybe this rule was made back then, so he would still have his award. And like, did the NCAA really expect us to believe that like the Fab Five didn't make the Final Four in 1992 because they took down a stupid banner? Like we saw that happen. So all the things that they put in to penalize these schools. Meanwhile, how corrupt were they with all the things that they've done and made money hand over fist from these athletes? It's a joke. And they created if it's going to be a problem, they created it. because they didn't get on top of it and they didn't put away something that could be make sense and have organization to it. Now it's kind of going to be like the old West until that gets out of hand, and then the conferences might have to individually address it. So I don't feel bad for the NCAA.
No. Going back to the comments, Carl said he only knows Bama players. Well, he did just name Elijah Moore, Carl. That's not a Bama player. Dodged the Arkansas question and mentioned Bama players. He also mentioned your Fab Five.
Yeah, what are you talking about? I didn't neglect the Arkansas question. I said Arkansas is going to be good this year.
Yeah. Mark will only mention Bryce Young. Actually, I mentioned Bryce Young first. Snug said it's like video games. If you stand on the Alabama field, your injuries actually heal faster. Nick Saban had it installed a few years ago. Carl says, what? Nobody is going to transfer to ride the bench, Mark. That is ass backwards.
No, it's not. That's a stupid comment. Yes, they will, because they want to win a national championship, and they're going to be drafted anyway, most likely, if they're good.
Mm-hmm. Slug says, I can't wait for the Heisman winner this year to hold up the trophy in one hand and a can of Pringles in the other. Well, what flavor of Pringles are we going for here, Snug? Makes a difference. So also staying with the college stuff, the rumors with this new super conference or the 4 conferences too. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, if they do join the SEC, which they most likely will, then you're going to have Alabama and Auburn going to the East. And right now, there is such a tilt where the West has owned the East. I think they're 89-52 against them since 2012, since Missouri and Texas A&M joined the conference. That's helped because Alabama's I think they're 32-0 when you throw in all the bowls and everything. Right. Against the East. And if you put Alabama in the East all of a sudden and Auburn, that all becomes a little more balanced as far as East against West. Because really the West has been the better of the two divisions.
Right.
So I think that would make it interesting in itself. And the Big 12, outside of Oklahoma, what has the Big 12 done? They got totally embarrassed Oklahoma by LSU a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like they're putting out these great performances when they make the playoff. And the Pac-12, which is another conference which has a great history but haven't really done much lately, I could see that whatever's left in the Big 12 after they leave, after Oklahoma and Texas leave, I could see them joining with the Pac-12, because that's essentially what you're going to do now is have a couple, maybe 3 or 4 conferences that are just huge with 16 teams, because that'll make the most money, and it all comes down to money.
Yes, I've heard that scenario before. That's definitely possible. Snug says barbecue all day, best Pringles ever. Carl asks you, Mark, name a quality player who transferred to ride the bench.
Well, check the guy on Tennessee, the linebacker for Tennessee, Tuoto. He came to Alabama. Why? He could have stayed at Tennessee and been fine. He's coming to Alabama where they have more linebackers than they know what to do with.
Yeah, right. We got
right there. Sorry, I had to blow apart your stupid comment.
We got a Snuggy Wuggy. It's Errol time, Carl baby in the comment section. I'm guessing that's Errol, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it must be him. Is Tyler alive? He asks. Snug says, well, if you are a starter who doesn't want to rid themselves of endorsements and fame in order to ride the bench of a better team, makes perfect sense. And Carl says Tyler has to talk to 25 minutes.
Yeah, why? Tyler, come on.
I'm just letting you guys. College football to me deserves no respect at all. So
all right, Tyler, what do you want to talk about?
No, you guys can talk. I'm by all means, go ahead. I'm a fan of the thing.
Yeah, it is Errol, apparently. Carl says his scream just on a loop. Well, Carl, you complain when he talks too much, then you complain when he doesn't talk enough. Which one is it going to be? What's up, Marky? Errol says hi in the comments section.
Oh yeah, tell him I missed you guys, man.
Yes, indeed. So also again with the college football playoff expansion as well. 12 teams is the latest rumor. Is that something that you would want to? Is that something that you would want to see, or you think more teams, less teams for that?
No, I think it's fine. I think there needs to be more teams. I mean, like Division II had it for all those years with 16 teams. Maybe that's a little too much, but it takes away the fact that if, say, for instance, you have Georgia and Clemson playing in week 1, all right? Normally that might be okay. You lose, that'll put you on like kind of the defensive, where maybe you have to now worry if you lose another game that your whole season's ruined. Now it doesn't matter, right? If you're Georgia or Clemson and you lose that first game, you still got plenty of time to recover. Especially considering it's not a conference game.
Mm-hmm. Errol saying, "Oh, he got caught up in his flights tonight. He got caught up in his flight, got canceled."
Oh.
And first comments, I took a dump on Tyler. Face LMAO.
You guys still get along real well.
Yeah, well, of course. Errol has to, even when he came on yesterday, he has to throw some jabs in there too. Oh,
I like you, Tyler.
No, Errol. My mother is not with you. So nice try. Nice try there. Maybe Mrs. Ehlers is with you, but not mine.
Oh wow. Well, that's uncomfortable.
No, he's used.
And this is gonna be a very awkward hour left.
Slug says, "Why do we waste our time with a college football when we could just have Bama play a split squad game? That way we could have the true national champion."
These guys love it. It's jealousy.
Carl says, "2 is transferring to a better coaching staff and a proven draft stock builder program in Bama. Nothing to do with riding the bench."
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
No, Snug. That is not going to happen. And it's never going to happen. So, what are some of the NFL impressions with training camp so far, and also some of these trade rumors? What are your thoughts with that?
Oh, well, I mean, give me an example. I'll tell you.
So far, we've heard with Deshaun Watson going to the Eagles possibly as being a big rumor. Now it kind of died down. Now the Texans are kind of trolling him at training camp, making him play defensive back and stuff like that. Yeah. Are they trying to be petty? You think they're hoping he can play again?
But Deshaun Watson is stupid. I mean, if that's what he wanted, there are a million other ways to get that other than massage therapist, which ruined their reputation and his. So that didn't make any sense to me. But he's a good quarterback. I mean, you look at his numbers; he had a great year last year. So if he's not playing quarterback, I don't know why they would even want him on their team. So,
right.
But if he went to Philadelphia, I mean, that'd be pretty good for Philly. I don't know if Jalen Hurts is ready or even good enough to be the mainstay over there. He certainly didn't show enough.
Even if he is. He's not Watson.
What's that?
Jalen Hurts will not be Deshaun Watson.
No, absolutely not.
So then, if I'm Philly, I'm not even paying attention to that.
If they can get him in trade, yeah, they should.
Ben also says Jacksonville just traded Joe Schobert to the Steelers.
Oh wow.
Maybe
that's a dumb trade.
How do you think the Steelers are going to do?
Average. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team this year.
Big Ben's getting
old.
old.
You think Cincinnati's better?
Yeah, I like what Cincinnati's got.
Or do you think the Steelers will be like that bad?
No, I don't think that.
Combination of both.
I think they're Cincinnati still.
Yeah, because I know
Sherbert to Pittsburgh though is a huge help. That makes no sense for Jacksonville at all. He's the leader of the locker room too. What the hell is that?
Ben says 5 years, $53.75 million. I guess referring to the contract for Schobert that he signed. Yeah.
So what?
I guess as well, maybe the Devin Bush injury last year is a lot more serious than we thought too, and he might not be able to come back this year, or maybe not come back the same too. And they needed a lot of defensive depth as it was, because the Steelers were they had good up front. They have TJ Watt, who's great, but they were
undefeated last year for like 12 weeks.
I know, but
but then they lost to some really bad teams at the end of the year.
Oh, they were the best team in football for 8 weeks, and then they were the worst team in football the rest of the year. But it really is just sad how people are ignoring the fact that our offensive line is a rubber band and finger clip away from being bad, And Big Ben is literally he's not even on his last legs. He's where Peyton was when the defense carried Peyton to a Super Bowl. That Steelers team is going to be god awful this year.
I mean, they're in a tough division too. So
brutal division.
Cleveland's going to be good.
Top 10 roster in football. Baltimore is going to win a couple of games.
I think the big season for Baltimore. If they don't, if they don't win the division and then make
they won't win
the playoffs, I don't know. It's not going to be good for. I mean, Jackson's still going to be not going anywhere, but you want to see him kind of take that next step if you're Baltimore.
What step?
you like him?
No, you're talking to the biggest critic of Lamar Jackson.
you don't like
better. He can't get worse.
No, but I'm saying if they want him to be like who they imagine him to be, at Baltimore, who they imagine him to be, he has to do something this year. I think otherwise it's going to be a huge step back.
I'm still waiting to prove him. I'm still waiting for him to prove to me he's a quarterback.
Well, he certainly hasn't done in playoffs.
Playoffs? You want to talk about playoffs? That guy in the playoffs has been exposed every year he's been in the playoffs.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Everyone swears he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. I don't understand how. He's not even the best quarterback in his own freaking division.
You think?
But he did win MVP. I mean,
he's honestly not even. He's probably not even second. Behind Baker and Burrow, then you can put Lamar.
Burrow has to do a little more. I like Burrow, but he has to do a little more.
Yeah, you can't put Burrow there yet. You can't put him there yet.
Burrow can get there for sure.
Skill-wise, he's already there.
Burrow can get there for sure. We have to see off the injury, though. Because I like Burrow a lot.
He's got to at least win an MVP, Tyler.
I don't even know if he has to win an MVP. He might even just 2 top 10, top 5 seasons in a row. He could even get there, but that's going to be very hard off the injury. And the Bengals' offensive line is not doing much favors
now.
For him to get there. Baker, again, he's been good, then he's been bad, then he's been he's a pattern, and he's helped out by a lot of those very talented skill players that we were bringing up yesterday with Chubb, with Hunt, with Jarvis Landry. 2 tight ends, Njoku, even the kid Bryant for them played well last year. They have a lot of talent on that team. So I think a lot of different quarterbacks could end up not necessarily succeeding to win games necessarily in that system, but still could perform at a higher level. If he has another year like that this year and Lamar regresses, maybe then you could argue it, but still, I don't know if I would make that argument quite yet. Baker's kind of above average. I wouldn't call him like that level quite yet.
Better than Lamar Jackson.
Oh, you're the only one. Lamar Jackson, probably 18th among your quarterbacks or something.
I don't know.
I agree he's not a top 5 quarterback, but I think most people have him at least 12 or 13. I don't think people have him 19.
He's around 15.
Okay, all right. That's actually more credit I thought that you were going to give him.
I didn't say he's in the 15, but he's around 15. 16, 17, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really planned it out.
Well, 2 years ago, he was number 32 on your list. So
was I wrong? He's not really. He hasn't proven that he can win a game with his arm yet. It's been 3 years. Yeah, he won an MVP. Guess what? That's because the league, gave it to the most exciting player in the league.
Snug says, wasn't the Beavs' mom a starting defensive tackle for Bama in the 70s?
All right. Okay.
Carl says, Errol watched the opening to last night's show. Tyler enthralled us all. You couldn't understand why it was hot, and we heard about it for 15 minutes.
It's still very hot in here. It's incredibly hot. I don't know why Errol's got a stone in his basement, but that's fun.
Snug says Lamar Jackson is a really good player on Madden. Not so sure about real life.
No,
he probably wouldn't start for the Tide. Jeff says petition to turn Mark's lights on and leave Tyler in the dark. He's hard to sweat. He's heavily sweats.
Who was that?
For 3 hours.
Sorry, I don't have lights. I don't have lights in this room. Sorry.
Who's that?
Jeff.
I'm actually moving next month. So. This is my last month in this apartment. This was yeah, you get what you pay for here.
You're going to the same town, same city, just a different apartment, or okay.
Yeah, little hopefully nicer place.
Because I know you had when we had you on probably like 2 months ago or so, you were having some issues in that apartment. So I guess.
Oh yeah, and every time it rains, it floods here.
Wow.
We're at the bottom of a slope. So, and it rains like we have one torrential downpour a day here.
Mark says players will utilize transfer portals to ride the bench at other schools. Petition to oh no.
Okay. If they don't think that's going to happen, then we'll see. You'll see it happen more than you would like, where guys are at like I said, if you're going 7-4 at NC State and you have no chance to win a national championship for 1 year, if you want to go to a place that has a shot to win, I think you would.
Also, too, are you referring to surefire prospects with that, or lower or in between, like
guys that are good? Take your very good player at a average school that are going to I'm obviously good enough to play big time Division I. Let me see if I can go to a school that's going to get me a national championship. It's going to be that competitive where these guys aren't going to want to stay at these average programs and just kind of exist.
Jeff says Tyler looks like he bathes in grease, and Carl said
it's not even like he's funny. He literally just recycles the 10 lines he says every show and just reorganizes when he says them. Like he says the same thing every 2 hours. It's like he just has like cue cards at his house.
Carl also says no, we won't. Nope. Snug says playing time gets you drafted, not winning championships. And Jeff says
these guys are so mentally incompetent. It's hard to have an argument with them. I'm not saying they're going to do it their freshman year. We're talking about guys that have established themselves, and instead of going to the pros, if they don't want to, they're not ready yet, they'll try to go to a school where they can win for a year.
Jeff says my buddy's kid just transferred to Alabama to play wide receiver, and he never played football before. And Carl says they will stay at an average program to better their draft stock.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Whatever.
Somebody's gonna end up calling eventually, knowing the way this trend is going. So let's get back into the quarterbacks.
Well, they got a half hour. I'm leaving here at 11 on the dot. I don't really care what these people say.
The quarterback. We'll go back to the quarterback. So, if you have Lamar Jackson 15, like you were saying, who are the 14 above him?
Guys, I got to get out at 9:30 because I got a sub tomorrow for elementary school.
9:30, buddy. It's 10:30.
No, he's in Central Time.
I'm in Alabama.
Alabama.
You got to be up at 5 o'clock.
All right, yeah. So it's
what time is it there?
I got about 2 minutes left.
Okay, yeah. So any final thought? You could just say any final thoughts you got, Mark.
No, I did. Thanks for having me on. It's good to be on with you guys. Tyler, it was great to see you, man.
Oh, you too, buddy.
I miss you, man.
I missed you too.
And I said, me and Tyler did a show one day because Ryan couldn't do it. That was like the beginning of January 2020, and he
that's
right. On Morning Boys.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that sounds familiar now. I think I was away, and then I listened to it on the way back.
That was fun.
Way back here, fun. Yeah.
I miss it, man. I miss doing that stuff. So we're going to be doing a show called Pigskin Roundup down here. And I spent like an hour. We finally got some organization here at the station. So the guy that's running things now is really like excited about doing some other things, and a podcast is something he really wants to do, where he's going to make it like centric to Atlanta and some of the bigger athletes around here. So him and Errol really need to talk at some point, because he really liked the fact that we could have access to the things that you guys are doing, because that's what he eventually wants to get into.
Oh, nice.
All right, so I'll put them in touch in a couple weeks.
Errol's gonna call at some point. I already know it. He's probably picking up the phone now.
All right. Nice seeing you guys again.
Oh, nice seeing you, Mark.
Great to see you, Mark.
Talk to you guys soon. Yep.
Yes, have a good one, man. All right, so Mark on. Usually he's on at the end of the show. This time we had him on in the beginning, the middle, whatever you want to call it, and naturally more Lamar Jackson conversation had to come up.
I just don't get it. I don't understand why people can't differentiate the fact between player and quarterback. Electric player, limited quarterback.
Okay.
I mean, it's not really that hard of a thing to understand. Right?
No, there's definitely
definitely
a difference in some instances. That's why even at the MVP, I never thought he was top 5. I never thought he was top 5 even after his MVP season.
Oh, his MVP season.
Like I drafted him like fantasy quarterback wise. I drafted him because of his rushing yards, but
player.
Yeah, but I never had him as a
player,
a top 5 quarterback or a elite quarterback, as a lot of people put him as. I would say probably Mahomes.
Player.
Mahomes, Rodgers, Watson, Russell Wilson, and
Brady,
Josh Allen, guys like that. Like those are
Tom Brady.
Yeah, Brady's.
Yeah, don't forget Tom Brady's name, please.
Well, yeah.
Now you sound like the other doofus that was on their show for years.
I was just listing quarterbacks. I wasn't really ordering them. I was just listing quarterbacks that have more skills as a all-around quarterback than Lamar Jackson.
You want to keep going?
We could keep going for maybe a little while longer. For me, you probably have like 5 others that nobody else thinks is, but
no,
I'm sure you do. It's like
him and Tannehill to me are the same guy.
Tannehill
as a quarterback, yes,
they're very different, but okay.
No, but what I'm saying is they're the same type of guy. Kirk Cousins, very good at one thing, sucks at everything else.
I would say Kirk Cousins is a well-rounded pocket quarterback. He's just not a runner type quarterback.
And Lamar Jackson's well-rounded outside the pocket.
Well, Lamar Jackson in the middle of the field can throw. It's just the outside throws, the middle of the field, the outside throws, the deep throws.
Oh, you mean the 5-yard dumps to Nick Boyle and Mark Andrews? Those in the
middle of the field.
Yeah.
Well, middle of the field could also be.
You can make that throw.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a weak arm though either. I'm saying.
That's not what I said.
There's a difference between middle of the field and 5 yards and the middle of the field 12 yards, though, too.
When was the last time receivers for Baltimore had over 1,000 yards?
A receiver. Anquan Bolden, probably.
Right, Flacco.
Well, they also haven't had good receivers either, though.
That's not true. Hollywood Brown's a very good receiver. You know why you don't know that? Because Lamar Jackson can't hit him.
Yeah, he also has drop problems and has trouble running routes, but okay.
Well.
Carl says in response to Mark, nice argument. Yeah, wow, whatever, but I'm incompetent. Sadek says, should I get drafted or risk injury to possibly win a championship?
Jeff,
why
is everyone talking Mark?
That's what they like to do. Jeff says they're incompetent, have these people because they are, what's the word? Dolls? I don't know what that means. Jeff says Garrard or nothing. Tyler's hair looks like he just shaved his pubes and stapled them to his forehead. Carl says, I always love. Yeah.
Bro, that was clever. That was actually a new one. Mazel tov to you.
Carl says, I always loved how Vic could flick the ball down the field, but Tyler has a good point about athletes versus player. Snug says, Tom Brady, Errol's gone. Let us celebrate the GOATs. Carl says, the 25 minutes of having to stare at the top of his head while he was reading stuff on his phone was amazing. Snug says, Kirk Cousins is great at giving the media a soundbite. All right, so we have about about a half hour. Do you want to do more questions? Or do you want to do the Playhouse?
Just give me the questions, because the Playhouse, I don't even have pen and paper. I didn't even know you had a Playhouse ready for me, honestly.
All right. All right. So let me just we'll actually take a quick break because I got to pull up the stuff. So
there you go.
Because my computer is being annoying with this.
I understand.
With this setup. So we're actually going to take a quick break. I'm going to pull up all the stuff. When we come back, we will have the remainder of the questionnaire here on the Sports Loudmouths.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Do current market conditions have you nervous? Our experienced team of financial professionals at Heritage Harbor Financial Associates understands that no two investors are alike. We all have different goals, needs, and appetites for risk. That's why the one-size-fits-all approach does not work. especially when planning for retirement. At Heritage Harbor Financial Associates, we analyze your unique investment style so that you can work toward your individual retirement goals on your terms. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates can help you take steps to reach your retirement goals by providing a wide array of financial products to fit your needs, even for the risk adverse. Give us a call at 631-331-6599 to learn more or to set up an appointment with one of our financial professionals. You can also find us on the web at hhfa.org or on Facebook at facebook.com/hhfa.org. Our number again is 631-331-6599. That's 631-331-6599. Investments in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds and variable annuities are not FDIC insured and are subject to fluctuation in value and market risk, including loss of principal. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates offers securities through AXA Advisors LLC, New York, New York. Member FINRA, SIPC. Annuity and insurance products offered through AXA Network LLC.
Edward Lehman has been a trusted insurance advisor for over 16 years with insurance solutions for auto, home, commercial, life, and retirement. He's located at 54 Sunnyside Boulevard, Suite H in Plainview. That's just 1,000 feet south of 495. Local agent, local advice. The time to think about insurance is before you need it. So do yourself a favor and before you pay your next insurance bill, give Ed and his team a call, 516-935-3900, or visit them online at www.allstate.com/EL. Edward H. Lehman Insurance is your trusted insurance advisor.
Be fearless at MMA Long Island and Seituha Karate. Located at 28 Cold Court in Ronkonkoma, MMA Long Island is the martial arts school for you if you want to learn combat-proven techniques, build confidence, discipline, and self-esteem while learning real martial arts to fight back against bullies, predators, and peer pressure. MMA Long Island offers group and private lessons for all ages and levels in traditional Goju-Ryu Karate, MMA, and self-defense. MMA Long Island is one of Long Island's most affordable martial arts schools. There are no promotion, belt, or membership fees, and family discounts are available. All classes are taught by 7th degree black belt Sensei John Benedict with over 30 years teaching experience. So whether you want to get in the ring or protect yourself and your family, MMA Long Island can help you reach your goals. Visit MMALongIsland.com. That's MMALongIsland.com or call or text 516-381-9660. That's 516-381-9660.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. This is the Sports Loudmouths.
Welcome back to the Sports Loudmouths. I don't even want to talk right now. This is great. You picked this?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I had to bring it back. I had to bring it back.
Errol right now, loser is mine. That's great. That's great. All right, Speed. Let's get to your questionnaire, huh?
All
I'm
right.
dying to know.
All righty. Let's start with baseball this time. Let's go back to the trade deadline. What was the biggest deal for both the buyer and for a seller? So kind of a two-parter here.
And this is for baseball you're referring to?
Yeah, which buyer was the biggest winner and the biggest seller?
I mean, the biggest buyer has to be the Dodgers, no? I mean, you got Max Scherzer and Trey Turner, and you gave up nothing that I thought you would have to give up for those two. So the Dodgers, by far, the best buyers. The biggest seller. I mean, Chicago, I would say they gave up Rizzo and Bryant. So getting the overhaul for both of those guys. Now, whether those prospects or not will turn out, I don't know. But to know that they're going to get a lot of farm system prospects back, that's interesting. The biggest loser, though, was the Rockies. How you didn't move Trevor Story. Shame on you. Shame on you. That to me, you're the biggest loser by far of the trade deadline because he's gone. He's gone.
Yep. Charlie Blackmon might be next. So that's right. Yeah, everyone's going to want out of that team. All right, let's go to the NHL. Which team that missed the playoffs last year has the best chance of not only making it, but being a top 2 team in their division?
This is not bias, ladies and gentlemen. This is hockey, you said, right?
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is not bias. This is not anything. This is just simply because they didn't make the playoffs last year, and they have a great top six, and they have a good goaltender, and they added grit. The New York Rangers, I think, are the best shot to do that. That's just what I think. Now, the problem with the Rangers is the Capitals are going to have to go backwards dramatically. The Penguins are going to have a lot of injuries, and both of those could theoretically happen. The biggest piece of this puzzle going forward is going to be Lavallee. Because if that kid can finally get his game together and be the 25, 30-goal guy the Rangers drafted in hopes of, there's no reason the Rangers can't go on a huge tear next year. Speaking of huge tear, Aaron Judge just made this game interesting.
Yep. 7-6 now in the top of the ninth. Was that off Hendricks or Kimbrel? I don't know.
Hendricks. Kimbrel's out.
Uh-huh. All right. Back to we'll go to the NFL now. Which team has the best threesome of wide receivers and why?
I want to say Cleveland. I really do want to say Cleveland. The problem is Donovan Peoples-Jones won't be that good.
I think Rashard Higgins is their number 3.
I think Peoples-Jones is the best slot guy personally, but
No, he played very well last year.
And tight ends don't count?
No, wide receivers exclusively.
Buffalo's up there too. Emmanuel Sanders, Stephon Diggs, and Cole Beasley.
If he plays.
Oh, well, right, yeah. I'm going to go Buffalo. I'm going to go with Buffalo because I think Emmanuel Sanders and Stephon Diggs are the best 2 route runners and 2 duo in the league.
All right.
And I think Cole Beasley gets his hair together.
Snug says Cubs might cut Arrieta loose today. He might give someone some bullpen help. Carl says not with a 6+ ERA. He was even ineffectively early in starts.
I guarantee you, and I'm dead serious, the Yankees will sign him and act like it was a great thing. They'll act like they just did us all a favor.
So thinking that he's going to just going inning isn't going to work. Snug says the Alabama Crimson Tide best threesome of receivers, maybe in college football. But no, 2 of them got drafted, so I don't even know about that anymore. Carl also
Denver too.
Denver's possibly.
If they all stay healthy with Sanders, Sutton, and not Sanders, Judy, Sutton, and
Hamler.
Hamler. That's.
Carl says Titans as well as another one to contribute maybe into that.
Who would their third guy be? That's why I didn't count them. Because, A.J. Brown and Julio Jones are the big 2, but who's their third guy?
I think Josh Reynolds they signed as their third guy, who's been, he's been okay at times, but really nothing special, and that was maybe the McVay system type thing. Ben actually says that, it was Hendricks on the home run. Here's what I'm surprised you didn't say was the Buccaneers. Or you think they're more of a product of Brady?
Oh, yeah. Scott Miller's absolutely a product of Brady. Godwin, I think, has enhanced because of Brady. And Evans is Evans.
Yep, and it looks like he's getting pulled. All right, so the Yankees at the tying run first. So they might have a very interesting finish in this Field of Dreams game. All right, let's go to the NBA now. The worst front office in the NBA. No, they're not pulling them. Nope.
Who's that, Glaber?
Stanton.
Oh, you got to walk Stanton.
But the go-ahead run on second?
Tying run at second?
Or the tying run at second, going-ahead run at first.
Who's on deck? That's what matters.
It's a risky decision regardless, especially when you've already been struggling.
He's 0 for 4, but Stanton hits that ball anything close to on par. That thing.
I don't know if with Hendricks already struggling, unless they're planning on pulling him, they want to put another base runner on with him already struggling.
Oh, I told you to pull him. I told you to pull him.
Oh, did he get over? Or did he catch it? I can't.
It's over. I told you.
Wow.
I told you don't pitch to Giancarlo Stanton. We got that live time, too. I called it.
Yes, you did.
I called it. Don't pitch to him.
So 8-7 now Yankees. All right, back to the question was...
The first pitch. Hey, all you Yankee fans that hated Giancarlo Stanton, how dumb do you feel now? And no, I'm not one of those people. I love Stanton.
No, you were not. Yep. So the question was, who is the worst front office in the NBA right
now? There's so many answers here.
The Knicks were 2 years ago, and now they've come around.
I would say the Knicks are even probably top 15.
Yeah, the Knicks are definitely top half now. The way they've been building nicely now.
The immediate response would be Portland or Washington. It's got to be a team that hasn't done anything in years, though. Because even Charlotte got good. Sacramento has young pieces. I'm going to say Portland because this Damian Lillard thing really should have been nipped in the butt a while ago. And you really have failed to get him not even a Robin, but you failed to give him a winning team for a while. So I'll say that. And Boston's up there too.
Carl actually said the Kings as his answer for that.
See, I was going to say that, but Darren Fox, Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley, that's not something you can blame the Kings on.
The other two I was thinking too, was either the Pelicans or the Cavaliers with all the top picks that they've had, and they really
Here's
nothing.
the thing about the Cavs, right? The Cavs I can't blame because the Cavs are in a terrible, terrible situation. No one wants to go to Cleveland to play. I mean, maybe maybe Cleveland.
No, with all the
and
number
what's
one,
the other team you just said?
the Pelicans with all the number one picks they get.
The Pelicans I think are actually on the way up. That Anthony Davis trade is going to get them good. It's just a matter of those kids growing together. Well, Alonzo left.
Yep, Lonzo got $85 million from the Bulls. Carl, I hope you can be able to take that on. All right, so we'll go back to hockey now. Which NHL coach is most on the hot seat and why?
What sport are we talking
NHL.
about?
Which coach is most on the hot seat and why?
I mean, that's going to be interesting because I don't really think I would love to say John Cooper's name, but he just won back-to-back cups.
Yeah, that's got to be hard now. It would take a really big collapse for that to happen.
I'm going to say Las Vegas. Because not Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's Peter DeBoer.
No, he's not going nowhere. The Stars guy, how long has he had his job?
He was an interim. Yeah, he was an interim from the Cup team, and I think he's still there. Let me find his name. I forget his name off the top of my head.
It's not Quellville. Now, the good news for the White Sox is Yankee bullpen.
Rick Bowness is their coach. So he was an interim with the Cup team. And now he had a down year this year in the 56-game season.
He could definitely be on his way out the door, too. Torts is still unemployed.
Torts is taking an ESPN job with their new hockey coverage for this year.
No.
He might coach again, though. I wouldn't rule that out either.
Not only that, I think Torts is going to get fired from ESPN. You can't ask him anything like controversial. He'll give you the answer you're looking for. I don't know. I mean, maybe the Penguins guy. I mean, it's got to be a tenured guy or a team that's going to underperform. I can't see because most of the teams that are rebuilding now have a young coach. I don't know. And Buffalo stinks. So I can't blame the coach for that. I don't know. Maybe if Boston goes sideways, I don't know. I can't even give you a coach right now, to be honest with you, because hockey's pretty cut and white. You're either going to be good or you're bad. Maybe the Colorado guy.
Jared Bednar.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're kind of win now mode.
Yeah, they are.
So, I mean, that would be my, like, if I had to take a good coach, or a good team's coach and just pull them, because they're kind of knocking on the door of just not being good.
Yeah, they were my cup pick the last 2 years, and they've found ways to lose in the playoffs, especially up 2-0 in Vegas the way they were. It looked like they were dominating, and they just fell off a cliff. All right, back to baseball. Which team that doesn't have the 3 best records in their league currently has the best chance of winning the World Series? So in the National League, it's the 3 NL West teams. Oh no, actually no. I think the Brewers are ahead of the Padres now. So it's the Giants, Dodgers, Brewers, and in the American League, it's the Rays, the White Sox, and the Astros. So not those teams. Among everyone else, who do you think has the best chance
Of winning the World Series?
Yep.
So my choices are the Dodgers, Padres.
No,
Yankees,
not
Red Sox.
the Padres. The Giants, Dodgers, and Brewers have 3 best in the National League right now, and the Astros, the White Sox, and the Rays. So somebody other than those teams, like one of the wild card teams or the lower division leaders, something like that.
Okay, so I got the Padres, the Phillies, and non-playoff teams, and
The American League, you got Oakland and the Red Sox.
and everybody.
Yeah, and then the non-playoff teams.
I mean, San Diego, I think, really has underperformed all year. At some point in time, they should get hot, right? So if they get hot around this time, and Tatis Jr. can come back, and Blake Snell can find himself, they can do it. But, I mean, the Dodgers are winning the World Series this year, so it doesn't even matter. The Dodgers are winning the World Series. Like, just pencil it in. It's happening. It's happening. Boston. You know what, though? Boston, to be fair to the Red Sox, when they get in the playoffs, they're always trouble. Always.
That is true. They have the most random guys just work for them. Whether it was
Nathan Eovaldi a few years ago when they
Steve Pierce and those guys. Yeah, they even 2013 too. They had obviously they had Ortiz still there, and they had some good players, but it was like Johnny Gomes and guys like that. They got to work.
Complete rejects.
Yeah, that is true. They always do get those kind of guys.
Zach Britton pitching? Oh, the White Sox will win this
pitching. I think Danny Melnick or something is at the plate, pinch hitting right now. 195 hitter. So I'll say. All right, let's go back to the NFL.
That's another
Which quarterback that is not in trade rumors right now is the most likely to be traded? Not necessarily before the season starts, but during the season as well.
So what, you're talking about Watson?
Any quarterback that's been in rumors.
The only one to be in rumors is Watson.
Well, Russell Wilson was too at the beginning of the season and in the offseason as well. So somebody that isn't really thought of as being in trade rumors. Obviously, the Stafford and Goff trade happened already.
And Minshew wouldn't count.
I don't know. Is Minshew really being that actively shopped?
No, I mean, I don't know. I here's the thing, right? Jimmy G's probably the obvious answer here. But I think San Francisco is to let him start this year. Wentz got traded already. I mean, Cam Newton's another guy that probably finds his way on a different team. He might just get released. I mean, Jameis Winston's another guy I can see getting traded. Matt Ryan's a guy I can see getting traded. There's a lot of guys I can see getting traded. I think Pittsburgh's going to make a trade for a quarterback at some point during the year. There's just so many guys. Fitzpatrick, I think, gets traded at some point. By the way, great job for ESPN for hiring Alex Smith. That
was
great job.
Awesome.
I mean, he finally did something. I'm trying to think of who. Nick Foles is a guy that could go. I mean, there's not really a big name outside of Watson, I think, that can go. Brady's obviously staying there. I know The NFC West stays where they are. I mean, Jimmy G would be the answer to your question, I guess. He's probably the biggest name that could get traded if, Trey Lance gets a shot and starts running away with it. But
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
if Jimmy G plays well, I think the job's his.
Yeah, you mentioned that too. I also Matt Ryan, like you said, I definitely could see that. So,
But now here's the question for the Falcons, right? Who else? Who do you? You don't have a young guy behind that.
No, I know that. I just
So, like, who do
if he has a great season, they could consider it. If they're 3-6 and he's having a great season, you could consider it.
3-6, you might as well just keep him.
No, I know that, but like if they know they're not going to go anywhere, if like Tampa's 7-1 or something like that, they know they're not going to win the division. I could see it because again, that's going to be a tough contract to move. As it looks like we have a walk-off. Tim Anderson walks it off for the White Sox.
Yep. I told you the White Sox were going to win once I saw Zach Britton's name. I wasn't kidding. I was dead serious.
That's
I'm
nice.
2 for 2 in 5 minutes.
That's quite a moment for them and for those fans that made the trip from that whole region area. I mean, I imagine they're not all White Sox fans, but just that whole reason. I mean, with that kind of game, the way they had it, or Tim Anderson.
The Yankee bullpen's that depleted that Zach Britton had to go out there in the ninth inning. I know Chapman's hurt.
Yes.
Chad Green couldn't pitch. Whatever. This is why we are not a playoff team. That right there is why we're not a playoff team.
No, they are not, and the White Sox are going to be. Before we get to the next question, I'll just read some of the comments. Snug says, living in Sacramento, no one here gives then he says a swear word about the Kings. They are awful. The front office is awful. The stadium is an awful location. The Kings suck. Carl says
that's great, but they've done a good job in building a young team. You can't take that away from them.
Carl says the Bulls' current front office is light years better than the last. Snug says Barry Melrose, best NHL coach ever. Also a great mulligan. Snug says the Diamondbacks are a shocker. Ortiz hit 800 in the World Series in 2013. He sort of won it by himself. Snug comments Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback most likely to be traded in the middle of the season.
They're not trading him.
Yeah, they aren't now.
They're not trading.
They're not going to do it now.
He's going to leave, but he's not getting traded midseason.
Snug says, let's ask real talk question. Who has the greatest mustache in sports? And Ben responds, Aaron Rodgers. Snug says, I like Cortez Jr. on the Yanks or Minshew on the Jags. Snug, how do those correlate? For the mustache. Got it. It's not tying run on play. Tim Anderson, like we said, walks it off. Ben
Gardner Minshew's got the best mustache.
Snug says, go White Sox. And the land is mine as far as the ball shall travel, so saith Anderson. All right, back to the NBA. Which superstar player has the biggest weakness skill set wise?
Ben Simmons can't shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Is he considered a superstar to you?
That was something that's up for interpretation. I don't think he is, but
okay, fine. So what do you mean?
Somebody that you think is a superstar among those guys. Who has the biggest flaw in their game in any particular form of players that you think are superstars?
I mean, Giannis's mid-range game and long-range game has got to get worked on, right? I mean, that's a problem. I mean, he did just win a championship, so I don't know how big of a problem it is. Damian Lillard's defense would be called into question. LeBron's leadership is something I would call into question. Russ jacking up shots is something I'd call into question. James Harden's defense is... actually, James Harden's inefficiency, period, is something... you know what? Let's go with that. James Harden's inefficiency
and defense. Why not? All right, we'll do one more baseball, one more football. We'll start with the baseball one. Because these rules seem to change a ton. What do you think will be the next new trend we see of anything, any aspect of the game?
What I would do, or what I think Major League Baseball would
anything, either one, whatever you think.
Well, first of all, we get rid of the stupid 7-inning doubleheader bullshit. That has to go. The second thing I would do is I'd go you get a runner on second base to start extra inning. That's gone. Goodbye. Don't really care. Extra innings is extra innings. It doesn't matter about time efficiency if you're in extra innings. The next fad for Major League Baseball. It's got to have to do with hitters being able to pull the ball to all fields. Or if you really want to be specific, I would also get rid of the catcher thing. I don't understand why that's a thing. But like you have like a 30-second clock on the mound. That
the pitch clock. The mound is.
Yeah. Dumb as dumb can be. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what something interesting could be done for Major League Baseball. I love the game in its purity, so I don't really want to change it at all. Maybe if a home run goes over 500 feet, you get awarded a ball for the next batter.
Ooh.
Yeah, like if a home run goes over a certain distance, you already start to count up 1-0.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I like that. That is a good one. Very creative. Very creative. Back to the comments before we do our last question. Snug said Ben Simmons' max contract, he played defense and dunk. All right, Snug, again, did you actually consider him a superstar if he can only do those things?
I mean, I think he's a superstar by the league Simmons.
Okay, that's fair.
But no, I
don't think he is either.
I would trade Ben Simmons tomorrow.
So. Snug said Westbrook can't hit a jumper to save his life. James Harden, the king of Olay. Brian Snow must have hacked Ben's Facebook. He says LeBron leadership, passing skills, mid-range. Snug says,
"No, I never give LeBron credit. I will never attack LeBron's passing skills. LeBron's an excellent passer."
Snug says, ditch the 7-inning doubleheader for a 4.5-inning triple header.
Yeah, that's how you lose Major League Baseball in its entirety right there. That might be the dumbest suggestion I've ever heard.
Snug says, next big trend is stolen bases. It will be rediscovered and hit and runs starting the runners becomes cool again.
Oh, I love for that.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, it won't.
All right, one more in the NFL. Give me a team that you think will win 5+ games more than they did last year.
San Francisco.
So they were 6-10. So you're improving to 11 and 11-6 or 12-5, whatever the new standard would be.
I
17-game season.
They to me, as long as Jimmy G stays healthy and everyone on that team plays up to par, Kittle, Ayuk, I'm gonna go San Francisco.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna go San Francisco. I think they're gonna be a really, really scary team next year.
Since you brought up Ayuk, I actually have to say something about that.
Oh.
So, I actually one of my fantasy leagues I got knocked out of last year because I drafted Brandon Ayuk late because I figured, all right, he's not going to be talked about as much, but he's going to get targeted because they don't have much of the receivers on that team. So I figured, all right, I targeted him. So when I got knocked out of that league because the rest of my team didn't do very well, because I also have Kyle Juszczyk, I actually signed him and I changed my name to Juszczyk. That's a nice little hybrid.
Oh, that is very good.
And I kept Juszczyk the whole year, and I always started when I got knocked out. I always started those two players the rest of the year. It was funny. One of the guys that didn't check his team, one of the weeks he had like a guy hurt, and then a bunch of bye weeks. I think he had 6 total players in. I actually outscored his total with just Juszczyk and Ayuk that week. I forget who they were playing. I think it was Seattle. I think Ayuk got 27 and Juszczyk got 8 or something. He might have got a touchdown or something in that game, and he outscored like 34 something. He outscored this guy's 33 with 6 players, so it was pretty funny. Well worth it. Snug says, I heard the Cowboys from a reliable source are going 17-0 this season on the way to hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. # ban the beef.
Yeah, that's a good way to end this.
By the way, Snug, it was supposed to be. Remember, it was supposed to be the first of 3 straight Super Bowls. Remember that too. So this is supposed to be their third of the 3 straight Super Bowls.
He said 3 straight.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he said just 3.
No. Remember, he said 3 straight. Then he backed off on it and said, "Oh no, I was just joking, but I do think they could win 3. I do think they could win 3."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and how many winning seasons have your Cowboys had since you made that statement?
0.
And it's not going to get any better this year with that god-awful defense.
That's the thing, though. That defense has talent.
Some areas, yeah, but like they're all linebackers and DeMarcus Lawrence. That's really it. Maybe Keanu Neal if he could stay healthy, but that's really it.
No, it's not Neal, is it?
They signed him,
No,
yeah.
they cut Keanu Neal.
Oh, they did? Oh, I didn't
thought
hear
they
that.
did.
I didn't hear that. Okay.
Ha Clinton Dix got signed today, so maybe
San Francisco signed
Yeah.
Clinton Dix. I saw that. Keanu Neal. No, it doesn't say he got cut.
Why do they have him as a linebacker now?
Well, that's just dumb.
He's a linebacker. They moved him to linebacker.
Oh God, that makes no sense. They drafted one in the first round. They have Smith and Van Der Esch. I grant when they're healthy, but still, that makes no sense.
And Dan Quinn is there.
Well, I don't think Dan Quinn can make that defense any worse. It's not very good on paper.
Yeah, Keanu Neal made a transition to linebacker.
No, okay, that's. I mean, I granted his coverage skills have gone down since his injuries, but still, they have enough linebackers. They have. Who's their best safety? The other one who played with Neal, KZ. That's who it is now. That's their best safety, who's been good, but still, they don't need linebackers. Unless they're planning on doing a 3-4 defense, which that doesn't work either, because none of them could rush the passer like an edge rusher. So yeah, good luck with that too. They're all base type linebackers, which they had in Atlanta too. But still, they're not the right types to be rushing the passers or anything like that. Snug says, somebody send the cops. Hold on. Somebody send the cops to do a health and wellness check on the Beeve after Dak is hurt again. And they are all about that bass, no treble.
Oh,
thank you, Snug, for making that joke.
Well, on that note, I think it's time that we leave. Yes?
Yeah, I guess so. There's no more comments to read at the moment. Unless...
Oh, good. All right. Goodbye. Speedy, tell them where they can find you.
So, Worldwide Sports Radio Network. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, through Periscope, YouTube, Twitch. You can find us on Instagram. You can listen to the replays of the shows on Spotify, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. And you can listen to our audio feed on iTunes, on our app, WWSRN, on the iOS store for iPhone and Android, Worldwide Sports Radio Network in the Google Play Store. You can listen to the replay on the show. You can listen to our audio feed, on our website as well, worldwidesportsradio.com. You can listen to us on other radio apps as well. Radio.com we are on, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio as well. And also stay tuned this weekend for the Weekend Crunch on the LI News Radio Network, 103.9 FM. Errol and myself. At 7 p.m. from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. the Weekend Crunch. Listen to that. You can listen to that on the TuneIn Radio app if you are not from Long Island. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, New York time, on 103.9 the LI News Radio Network.
Yep. That's about it. It's a good job, Speedy. Appreciate you. And Mark Kelly, thank you for coming on.
Yes, absolutely.
Who else was it?
No, Mark was the only one who came on. The rest were just in the comment section. But yes, thanks to everyone who commented as well.
Yeah, whatever. So, So yeah, we'll be back Wednesday, Thursday, and obviously Errol and Speedy will be doing the weekend crunch. Yay! All right, Speedy, say goodbye.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and have a glorious night.
I'm so happy I remember these little things. Great job. Yep. So again, we'll be back, and again, Worldwide Sports Radio Network, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Periscope, all over the place. We'll be back Wednesday. See ya.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Saturday, August 28th, add it to your calendar. The Sports Betting Channel presents To Be Determined. Our new show starts at 8 o'clock out here in San Diego, 11 o'clock in New York, and then we're done just in time for the first game kickoffs for college football. You're going to get 4 totally different slices of sports. Blackhawk West joins us for Saturdays in Canada and some plays for the CFL game. What do you do when the easy sports data is trending in opposite directions? Well, Mo's going to help us decide what to do on Something's Gotta Give. There's also Paulo's plays. Now, if you're not betting soccer, you really should be. And this guy is very, very good. Finally, there's Wake and Bake, where sports betting meets marijuana. Hey, the games start early here in Southern California. Now, 9 o'clock's a lot easier when marijuana is legal. It's like having 4 shows in one. Check it out Saturday, August 28th on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, on the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network, and on the Sports Betting Channel.